If you follow me and are connected to me on LinkedIn, you know that I absolutely do not believe that tax compliance work is dead. I think that there are some loud voices in the industry right now saying that tax compliance work is already dead, that you cannot run a profitable firm if you're not doing advisory work. I think there are a lot of loud voices saying that even if it isn't dead yet, that it will be dead within the next 1 to 3 years. Some might be saying 1 to 5. But the outlook, if you're listening to a lot of these louder voices, the outlook doesn't look good. Now, my personal opinion is that they're using fear-based marketing to get you to purchase what they are selling. I think that it is incorrect and wrong at best. I think that at worst, it is an intentional lie to sell the product or services that they are selling. Now, they may 100% believe what they're saying. So I am not saying that they are lying. I'm saying at worst, they could be lying in order to drive sales. But that may not be the case. They may fully believe what they're saying, and they may fully believe that because they aren't operating in this space. It completely makes sense to me that someone not operating in the space of doing work for clients in the tax compliant space would think that it's dead. To us, we understand taxes at a very high level. This is what we do day in and day out. So to comprehend why someone would pay another person a couple $100, several $100, to prepare what they consider to be a simple or basic tax return doesn't make sense. But that's because this is what you do. Other people don't do this day in and day out. They don't understand the taxes to the same level that we do. TurboTax exists, but it does not provide peace of mind. Now, not just TurboTax, any DIY software. Now, that includes your typical DIY software, like the TurboTax, the Tax Act, the H&R Block online stuff, not the one where you go in, but the stuff that you do online on your computer. All of that falls in the same category of DIY, and it doesn't provide peace of mind. There are people who use that and will continue to use that. They're comfortable with it, they feel good with it, and there are a ton of people who don't use it because they don't know what they don't know. And even if they have what some might consider a basic or simple tax return, it's not simple to them. And they want someone to do it for them to provide that peace of mind. That market still exists. Not only does it still exist, it is not shrinking. It is very strong, and there are a ton of clients, and I'm going to show you the proof from my firm. Now, I've talked to other firm owners, and the ones that I've talked to seem to be seeing the exact same thing that I'm seeing. Not diminishing revenue, not clients that are going down in number, but more reaching out every year than what they're able to even serve. A lot of people who have been doing this for 3, 4, 5+ years are turning clients away. There's more clients looking for this than they can or want to serve. They're getting pickier. They're niching more. All of that shows that the demand for tax compliance is as strong as it has ever been. Now, the other category here is AI. AI is going to take your job. Once AI is up and running, it's already there. It learns miraculously new things every single second of every single day. And by the 2026 tax season, AI is going to be doing tax returns. I don't see it. I don't see it happening now. I honestly don't ever see it happening. Now, you might write me off as crazy because I just said that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. And I don't think it'll ever happen because AI tax prep will always be in a category of DIY. TurboTax is there. People were filling out their own tax returns by hand before we had software and computers. There has always been a DIY market, and AI will not change that. Will it pull a few more people away from us as tax professionals? I think it will. I think it'll pull a few more away. Do I think it is going to drastically change what we are looking at right now in terms of clients coming to us? No. Will it change how you do your work? Quite possibly. You will start to incorporate AI. You probably already have. But it is not going to do away with compliance work. It is not going to mean that you have to move to advisory. You can move to advisory. Advisory has great fees. You can probably make more money and work less hours if you build up your advisory practice. I don't disagree with any of that. What I cannot stand is fear-based marketing to take your money to make them rich. Drives me nuts. This is not a dying industry. Here's the numbers from my firm. I offer 3 different tiers of service. I offer, when it comes to tax work, a compliant option. The compliant option is the cheapest option. You come in during tax season. I will file your return. I will help you understand your return. So there's the peace of mind. I will explain it to you, but it is compliance only. It is tax season only. That is it. No year-round advice, no year-round support, no planning or advisory. 50% of my revenue comes from that service, preparing tax returns. It's about 80% of my clients. So when given the choice, now let me tell you what the others are. Proactive, that adds in the year-round support. I'm here year-round, what you would typically think of a CPA firm. Pick up the phone, shoot me an email, send me a chat message. If you have a question during the year related to your taxes, reach out to me. That is in the proactive. That's in the middle tier. 80% of my clients are choosing the tier lower than that. Just file it. I just want peace of mind that it is done correctly. That's 80% of my clients, 50% of my total tax firm revenue. The strategic level, that adds in kind of the advisory. Now, proactive could fit in advisory too, because you're getting my opinion, you're getting my advice as you have questions. But the strategic level, that's where we actually sit down for another appointment. We have a planning and forecasting appointment, and we talk about ways to reduce your taxes. We talk about looking at the current year to avoid surprises, making sure you're paying in enough, but also looking kind of long-term. What are you doing? How can we reduce taxes? Let's talk about if your situation is optimized. So those are the 3 levels of service. The strategic level, it's about 8% of my clients choose that level, and it makes up 13% of the revenue. The proactive, the middle option, that's about 12% of my clients, and it makes up, whatever that number says, 18% of the revenue. And the compliant, again, that's 80% of clients are choosing. When given the choice, you can have tax planning where we talk about what you can do to reduce your taxes. 8% are choosing that when given the choice. 12% are choosing the middle option. Yeah, I want you around just to be able to answer questions. 80% are choosing just file it. I really just want peace of mind that it's done correctly, and I don't want to do it myself. I don't trust TurboTax or any other DIY software. I don't trust the AI. I want to know that it's being done correctly, and they can only get that peace of mind from an individual who knows what they're doing the return for them, and then walking them through it. I think that's the big thing. Even though they're not asking for year-round support, they're not asking for kind of questions as stuff comes up throughout the year, they can ask their questions about the tax return in the compliant option. We'll go through the tax return. When you DIY, whether it's AI or non-AI, the stuff we've had for years, no one's answering your question. It's a computer system. AI might be talking to you like a human might, but it's still a computer system, and they want to hear it from another person in order to get that peace of mind. Tax prep bookkeeping, that's 3% of the revenue. That's for business returns. When I prepare business returns, I require them to pay me to do some bookkeeping cleanup to make sure that the bookkeeping is ready for tax prep. Tax prep upgrade, this is when someone might choose compliant or proactive, and then they upgrade from compliant to proactive, or from either of those to strategic throughout the year. So I just charge them the difference. They upgrade throughout the year if they figure out they need a higher level of service. IRS representation, there's very little of that. This is when someone comes in with an IRS notice and I just consult with them to explain the notice to them, tell them what they need to do, and may or may not handle the notice for them, or I may refer them out to a tax attorney. Accounting is bookkeeping work and payroll for a few clients. Consulting, this is for non-clients. If I just do like a call, a consult, maybe a new business startup consult, or they have tax questions, or I review prior year tax returns to see if there's any issues with those, that's in consulting. Tax firm coaching, this is new. This is what this channel was geared towards. This is revenue from templates and pricing calculators and small group coaching and large group coaching and one-on-one individual personal coaching. That is a new line item for 2025, and that is 6% of my revenue this year. And so that is everything. That makes it up. So as you can see, compliance work is anything but dead. Now, I will be the first to admit, I will come on here, I will go on LinkedIn, I will post. If I start to see a decline, I will come on here and admit it. If compliance work starts to take a dip, the number of people reaching out starts to go down. If I'm no longer turning away clients, if I can no longer be as picky as I have been. Lately, I've been super picky. I don't take partnership returns. I don't do anything with crypto. I don't do certain states. In fact, I've cut down the number of states that I work in to about 11 or 12. There's 9 that have no state income tax. And then there's about 3 or 4 others that I still accept clients from. The rest of the states, I don't take clients from those states anymore because I don't have to, because there's enough coming from those 10 to 12 states that I do take clients from, and turning away partnership returns, and turning away C corporation returns, and turning away trust returns, and turning away people with lots of crypto activity. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I know there's some stuff I'm missing. There's things that I don't do, and I turn those clients away. And I still have more clients every year than I did the year before. My revenue is still increasing every year. I haven't looked at those percentages lately, but it's usually at least 10% increase in revenue every year. I'm still able to increase my average fee for all of this, for compliant work, for the proactive work, for the strategic work. The average fees are going up every year. Clients are still coming back. New clients are still coming in. Growth is up and to the right. So everything is growing. I'm not changing anything until I see that trend change. If things flatten out, I'll start to prepare. If things start to go down, number of clients, I lose more than I pick up. The revenue starts to go down. More people start to say no. The fees are too high. They start to leave me for a DIY option. Then I'll come on here and I'll say, hey, the trend is changing. But it is not right now. It's not flat. It's not declining. It is increasing up and to the right. Revenue is going up every year. Number of clients reaching out is still as high as it has ever been. I'm pickier than I've ever been. I'm turning away more clients than I ever have, and growth is still happening. And I hear the same thing from other tax firm owners that I talk to. So there it is. I think that it's absolutely false that compliance work is dead and or dying. I do not think it is going anywhere within the next 5 to 10 years. I don't think it's going anywhere ever. I think there will always be a market for it. And I think the market will always be pretty strong. But that's where we're at right now. If you see something different or you're experiencing something different, put it in the comments. I want to know what's happening, but I haven't talked to anyone, not a single firm owner, and I've got interviews with 29 firm owners lined up. So I'll ask them and see what they're doing. But so far, I haven't heard from anyone that has seen compliance work going down. Now, you can move into advisory. Like I said, it's great to move into, but it's the fear-based, it's the lies that compliance work is dying that drives me nuts. And that's just flat out wrong. So leave a comment. Let me know. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Are you experiencing what I'm experiencing? Or are you seeing some sort of decline? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching the video.